Okay, so I have this K100 here that I'm doing some work on, and then I also sell this kit. Now, these are just aftermarket parts you can use on, I think, about any K100, and I thought, well, why don't we put some of these parts on a K100 together so you can see how they work. Let's get going. Okay, just for clarity here, I do sell these, rockinghfarmtoys.com. I think they're $12.95 or some, almost 13 bucks for everything you see right there. And you get 2 custom bumpers, 2 visors, 2 sets of rectangle headlights, which is great because this has those, 3 custom grille overlays, and 2 sets of bumper lights, which I don't need the bumper lights, but I do need some of these other things. And then I've also got this deck plate here. Another part that I sell in my store. This comes actually a little longer, 2 of these little sections longer. I already broke them off to dry fit this and test and see how that's going to work. Anyhow, let us get to going. I'm going to use this bumper because it looks kind of cool. And the tools, about everything you see, I sell in my store. So if you're needing these parts, you can do it in one-stop shopping, and tools for that matter. So here we go. We've separated that out. And it does come right here. Look at that. It has these little marks that you can bend that. And then that little divot, it looks like that is where your lights are going to go. That's kind of nifty. Anyway, let's see what we can do. Now, I like to prop this up on a bottle, on any kind of jar that you might have around. I keep rubbing alcohol on a jar to clean parts with. And I'm going to use my flat plier right there. I'm just going to bend that around like so. And then do it again. Now, I would caution you, I've used other parts like this from TractorFab, and you don't want to start wiggling these back and forth. Like if you overbend or underbend and then you're like going back and forth, you'll break that off and that'll ruin your day. So not a big caution you have to be aware of, but just something, you know, just keep in the back of your mind. Try and get it right the first time if you can. And then I got just a little bit of a wire right there. I'm going to try and clip that off. You can use a tiny file to remove any of those little extra little attachment points. And here we are, just like so. All right, so I dry fit that on purpose so we can determine that it's going to fit okay, and we can make adjustments as necessary. Okay, I'm going to take some of this glue here, and like I mentioned earlier, I hate to, you know, make gratuitous sales pitches, but hey, got to pay the bills, right? I sell this glue, Instaset, and then the parts, these side cutters. A lot of this stuff you see here I sell in my store. So I'm going to try and get that square. Okay. Scooch it around, move it like I want, boom, boom, boom. And here we are. Yeah, and then I have to move it, so then I jack it all the way around. Sometimes I found when you get it really close, stop. That's not close enough, but that's not bad. You just scooch it over a wee bit. Okay, now I'm going to use a drop of Instaset in here so we can set it and forget it. There. Now we can be confident we can move on and not have to worry about that. Now do not worry about all that extra Instaset. It cleans off very nicely, so there's nothing to worry about there. Now you'll notice one of the visors is missing already, and that's because I was filming and managed to misstep with some glue and put some glue where I didn't want it, and I smeared it when I tried to remove it, so instead I just got another visor. Okay, going back here, and I'm going to go ahead and grab that. I want the rivets on the outside. I'm pushing this in just a little bit like so, just to get it started. And then we're going to go again there. Again, just kind of barely breaking that over. And I've already got some glue on the visor, so here we go. We'll just press that down like so. And that wonderful crease that we've put in there makes a great center line, so you get this correct on your model. Now, there's already a visor on this cab, so this aftermarket visor isn't going to fit as well as one without a visor at all. And there we go. That does not cover that original visor perfectly, but it's pretty good. And you know, when you have it on a layout or on a shelf, you probably won't notice it. On the sides, this does look kind of crazy. And I think I actually mounted that upside down. When I look at the photos on the card, but I think for this project, it'll be okay. And like I'd mentioned before, you can polish those parts up really nicely. Next, we're going to trim out these headlights. Let's see how those are going to work. And now I want to use one of these grill covers just to see how that will go. And I think I want to use that. And that's how it's going to look on the cab. That's dry fit, of course. That's not glued on yet. And I think that's going to be okay. This emblem here does stick out a little bit farther than the grill, so this does push the top of that grill cover out. I can't say I'm in love with the idea, but again, in the name of science, we'll give it a go and just have fun with it. I really want to move this over just a tiny bit here. Can. There we go. And that's what it's going to look like from the side. So it's not a perfect fit on this particular model of K100. This is an all 3D printed K100, by the way. And then finally, I do want to put that deck plate on. So we'll just put a little bit of glue here on the frame. And how you put that on your truck is entirely up to you. Whether you want the flames toward the front or to the back, it's completely your call. And there we go. We have added some bling to our K100 using this TractorFab detail kit, part number 353 for the K100. These are DCP K100 you see in this image here. And like I said before, this is a 3D printed K100. So just something a little different. I will go ahead and put some fuel tanks and some steps or something down the side. A little more detail here on the cab, and this dude is ready for the road.